Me to the rescue. I had to put in my 2 cents about this interview. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, all that.
Let's go. Now, for some of you who don't know the Repart podcast, we basically talk about issues affecting Africans on the continent, Africans abroad, African Americans, Caribbeans. Basically, we are all inclusive. Okay.
Right.
Now, I recently saw a TikTok video and it was talking about passport bros. Oshay, could you explain to our audience what is a passport bro?
These are pretty much African Americans that decided that dealing with American black women was a lot of a hassle. Some of the brothers in the
Oshay being nice. Basically, we tired of these masculine ass, fucking entitled, spoiled brats. That's basically what it boiled down to. He's being nice, but hey, I understand.
passport bro communities, even from the UK and in some parts of the Western world. I met a brother in Kenya. I won't mention his name, but shout out to you, brother. And he's a Somalian but living in Australia. He considers himself a part of the passport bros going back to Kenya. So basically you have most of these guys that are living in usually Colombia, Brazil, some of the Philippines, Thailand, and these guys are looking for more femininity and a higher quality of life. Women, when they do, let's talk about what's his book. Is it not Waiting to Exhale? It's another book. It was his book about the movie that Angela Bassett was in, where she went to Jamaica and married this guy.
Oh, Stella got a groove back.
Stella got a groove back.
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
I know she didn't know she's too young.
No.
But I think that's different though.
How's it different?
Because she went through like a terrible relationship and just wanted to reset and just have a night.
Isn't that the reason why guys are traveling? Isn't that why passport bros started? Because we didn't got involved with so many terrible relationships. What did we want? A lot of guys want a fresh start. A lot of guys want a new start. And isn't that why it started in the first place? So I'm trying to figure out what the difference is.
This holiday, and then she found
Love.
she found love.
And again, that guy ended up being gay.
What? In the movie?
In the real life, extremely gay. Turning on her, taking all her money and getting a boyfriend and moving to New York City.
What?
So what I'm saying is this. A lot of guys, I don't want to throw all the black men from African American communities into, because I met a brother actually in Kenya at our cafe that married a Kenyan woman.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. Look at Brandon.
Yeah.
You know? So you have black men that are looking to marry people. We've even had it happen on our show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, like, we're not talking about the root problem of why these guys are not dealing with these women. And that's what's the attitude of what you live in London. Let's talk about that.
Right.
The marriage rates are going down in the West.
Yeah.
It's going down in London. It's going down in New York City in America. Why is it going down? And if these guys are saying like, hey, I'm a hardworking guy, especially in the black community, like you get penalized for just reading and writing right as a man. You can think, you can exactly see. That's why guys will want to come to Africa.
You know what? Also, what he didn't mention is the fact that divorce is going up. Not just marriage rate going down, but divorce is going up. Like, that shit is skyrocketing. And who is initiating all the divorces, I'm not going to say, because we already know.
And deal with somebody like you, because you can appreciate somebody who will actually do something for you. Do you know, like, even at the bank, when I go, I won't mention the bank that we're in. When I go there, I'm treated way better. Like, oh, hey, hello, how you doing? Or, I mean, obviously we have money that's going there, right?
Yeah.
But you know, you don't get treated like that in America when you can do something as a man. Here, you have to be a certain height in certain cases, look a certain way, have a certain lot of swag and charisma. But I never hear you go and tell somebody, I don't want to date him because he's too short. Like, you don't hear that in Africa.
Short king.
That is crazy. Y'all don't say that in Uganda. Women, if they don't care about height like that, man, I can't even imagine other things that Ugandan women are willing to overlook as long as the man is treating her how she want. And that's really what it boiled down to. Like, as long as your man providing for you, treating you well, protecting you, respecting you, that's really that all, should matter. Everything else should be negotiable.
Have a chance.
Yeah, the guys in Africa, if you see a woman in Africa, you have a chance to be married. In America, Those women don't. I mean, I'm not saying all, but the attitudes and entitlement are crazy. And a lot of those girls come from single parent homes, don't know how to respect the man. You get tired of fighting back and forth with that stuff.
And you know, it's crazy. The amount of work that men put in this country, in America, like the women's behavior is a reflection of it. Like, think about it. The women's behavior is a reflection of it, because if we weren't working, busting our ass, taking care of our responsibilities, all of these like different programs to help all of these people would not be in place. Think about it. The amount of money that men bring to the U.S., the amount of security, the amount of protection, the amount of opportunity we've brought here to the U.S., all of these other people would not be able to enjoy the benefits and fruits of it if the men weren't out here without feet on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? So the entitlement and stuff is really a reflection of how great of a job the men are out here doing. So all you men out there, we appreciate you. The truck drivers, the electricians, the plumbers, the engineers, the construction workers, the police officers, military, we appreciate you. The welders, everybody.
But you know what, right? I hear all of that, and that is an issue that I've heard of and actually come across. But I think it works both ways, because some of these guys, like they're preaching all this. Oh, I need a woman to be more submissive. I need femininity. I need something I can work with. But they're acting the fool.
And this tells you, this like really shows you the disconnect from him and being in the US, because you can say it worked both ways all you want, but at the end of the day, men, we don't have the same support, nor do we have the same benefits women get here in the country. So that alone just tells you, like, women get away with a lot more. Not only do they get away with a lot more, they get prioritized, they get expedited with all types of help.
In what way?
Multiple partners, like
Thank you.
Gaslighting, like all of these things.
He said multiple partners. Now, fellas, let me tell you something. And this for my black men out there. Do you know that there's more than, I think almost double the amount of black women have kids than black men? What does that tell you? That means, right? That means black women are all having sex with the same group of men, while black men, we're not out here being irresponsible without Johnson as much as they say we are. So we got a huge group of men who don't have children. But we got a lot of black women out here, with multiple baby daddies, but I digress.
Right?
Yeah. Rude.
And then once they've burnt all their rude.
Right.
And once they've burnt all their bridges,
right,
then they cut out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because their name is pretty much, you know what I mean, dirt. Like it's been ruined. So that's how I see it as. Maybe I'm being a bit too black and white about it.
Right.
But I just feel like their intentions are not there.
Yeah.
Like
our intentions aren't there yet. 80% of divorces are filed by who?
So let me ask you this: do you think like these guys that come into, let's say,
they're weak?
They're weak.
They don't want a person, like if there's a woman I like, and because I'm a DJ, as you all know, so I'm the worst case scenario. When I stepped to a woman, right, when I was single, they didn't want to know nothing. They're like, oh, you're a DJ, no way. In London, not so much in Kampala, but in London, they're like, you're a DJ. Crucifixes up, everything. Didn't want to know. When you leave this gig, you're gonna go to this girl, and then if I wanted to prove myself, and I wanted to show I was genuine, I put the work in. If you're out there and you're like, oh, come meet me here, I'll pay for this. Here, come here when you get here. Don't worry about that. And you're presenting yourself in that way. You're presenting yourself to be like taken advantage of. I mean, if you carry yourself as like a decent human being in some respect, then you should get it back. If you don't, then
well, I mean, honestly, that depends, because men, what we do all the time, typically, men always use women's hypergamy against them, just like how women use men attraction to physicality against them. Men do the same. We do the same exact thing, just in a different way. He's basically referring to a beta male provider. So if you're trying to fall in love, yeah, I agree with what he's saying. Don't lead with your wallet. You see what I'm saying? Don't lead with resources if you want to fall in love. Me personally, I don't care if a woman want me for my resources or not. To be honest, I don't care, because most of the time, women, they're gonna want a guy who could provide anyway. And I would tell my daughter the same thing. Like, look, if you're dealing with a guy who can't take care of himself, how the hell he gonna take care of you? That's just me. I'm not telling guys to follow that, but that's just my thoughts on it.
That should be a red flag to be like, shh, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Or I'm not holding this conversation anymore.
Let me say this. Women everywhere, no matter who you are,
yes,
are going to ask you for money.
Exactly.
And going to use you.
Precisely.
Even worse.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, everywhere. It happens in London. What?
Like money.
Every woman.
Right.
There's no woman that will like you. They're gonna expect you to do something for them everywhere. That's how it works.
And you should, as a woman.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but what I'm saying is this: because when I'm hearing that these guys are weak, okay, because when people say, well, they're weak, they don't have options. But now we're going to be honest. If we're talking about the black community and black women, you have a lot of women that are coming from single parent homes, hostile attitude towards men in general, and a lot of men don't feel like you said, for example, I'm going to put in the work. Can we be honest here?
Yeah.
A lot of ladies are not worth putting in any work for, okay, in general. So the reality is that these women out there have to give these guys an incentive to deal with them, and they don't. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, nobody's going to deal with you just because, no, I think it's more better to say, okay, I'm not dealing with you, not talk about it, but guys are openly having the discussion. Because women have been having discussion about, I don't want no scrubs. They've been having songs about how broke you are. You black men are.
Man, all of that is going to blow up in their face, because look where it's headed. Look where it's leading. It's just getting worse. And I kind of know what the motive was behind it, to teach these women to not be involved with men and to break the family. I know what the motive was, but of course, we're still having a lot of children. The problem is the children are growing up dysfunctional because there's no father.
Undercover, you're gay. But that's been happening for years in America.
Yeah, like you had TLC with Scrubs and whatnot.
What are you talking about? Broke black men. I don't want no dusty black men.
But it's just your intentions, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like you got some good guys that come here, and they want to find a wife. They've pursued options where they're from. They're not getting the love back, so they try something new. That's cool.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, that's not bad. But if you're coming here and on the plane you're downloading Tinder, you know what I mean? You landed on the tarmac and you're downloading Tinder.
But there's some people who have actually made it off Tinder and they're a great couple.
No, there is, yes. Right? And
exactly. Like, if you've never been to a country, man, and you want to meet people, what are you going to do? Most people probably going to download Tinder and actually try to meet people. And it's not like when you go on Tinder, you only meet in, like, flings or nothing like that. Like, you can meet tour guides on Tinder, bro. Like, it's all types of people you can meet on Tinder. Like, I don't know where he going with that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem, but I'm speaking about the guys that literally land on the tarmac and they're downloading Tinder. Because I've seen it. I'm a DJ. Because my main job as a DJ is to entertain people, make sure they dance. And so, how do you make sure people are dancing? You watch them.
Observe.
Right.
So I'm seeing this guy on Tinder, like looking at this Tinder and then looking at the girl. Tinder looking at the girl. Oh, that's her. Sit down, have the date. Didn't really go well. She left. Back on the next date came in. Like he may have had 2 or 3 dates in one.
And what's wrong with that? What is the problem with that? It didn't go well. He had 2 or 3 dates. What's the problem?
Night off of Tinder.
Well,
How many times? I know y'all have heard women say, man, you always got to keep one in the chamber. Exhibit A.
Just say this. Most men,
so what you expect?
It's like a statistic. I forgot what it was, but most men have like less than 10 sexual partners their whole entire life. That's for most guys.
Really?
Not me. I didn't fucking quadruple that.
Less?
On average, less than 10.
Yes. Do you know, like, most guys are not, like, even here in this Uganda, I think the average guy who doesn't have anything has options with women? No.
Yes.
Like, the dusty dudes?
But the guys are...
Well, yeah, that might be a little true. But what I'm saying
There's
is...
someone for everyone.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, most men are not players or are just, like full on fledged womanizers.
No, that's true.
Most guys are used to not even having one girlfriend.
Bro, I forgot the stat, but like the percentage of men that are promiscuous is a very low percentage, and they're the ones that are making it bad for guys like me and you.
Right. Like even the dudes in the black community have all the babies. It's like 25%. Like most guys my age, how common is it in UK to be like 40?
And another statistic for you guys. Do you know 30% of children that get DNA tested here in the US, they're not the father. 30% of the children that get DNA tested, the children and the father, it turns out 30% of the kids are not theirs. And those are the only ones that's being tested. So imagine if everybody got tested.
Be heterosexual and not have any kids. It's very common. It ain't common in Uganda, but it's common back home. So a lot of men that are coming to Africa, they don't even really have, now they might have a better chance here, but most men don't have that opportunity to have that many women or to date that many women. So, I mean, the passport bro thing, I don't know, in certain places that, where you see most places like Thailand, Dominican Republic, Brazil, prostitution is legal.
Thailand's crazy.
You might even get a chick with a, I'm sorry.
Well, it's
leave that out. Leave that out, please.
Just to wrap it up, what's your message for the passport bros?
Well, they're gonna be mad at you in the comments. But
I know they're gonna be mad at me, but it's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I ain't got no message for them, man.
What?
I don't think I have. What can I say to them?
You've been giving them a message the whole time. Anyway.
Yeah, but just work on your intentions, man. Seriously, like, just, you know what I mean? If it ain't working for you, look at why it isn't. You know what I mean?
So to kind of like build on what he's saying.
Common denominator. What's the common denominator, fellas? What's the common denominator is that we're all talking. So you can't really force other people to say where they're wrong. Man, we do it all the time. When have you ever heard a woman say she was wrong or she needed to work on something that had to do with herself?
I think what the problem with the most passport bros is, I'm about to get canceled for this, but most guys are not financially successful. I think you talked about, they're not
financially successful enough for these entitled women over here. But if you make $50,000 or more, you're a top 1% earner in the entire world. If you make 50,000 USD or more per year, you're a top 1% earner in the entire world. Let that sink in. So are we not financially stable enough, or are the expectations ridiculous?
And so when they compare you to other foreigners, when you have that blue passport or the burgundy one like you have, it means something. So now if I'm an American here and I'm talking about coming to Uganda, but I don't have business, I don't do anything in the industry here, I'm not bringing any development here, what happens is I make my people look like they're slow, right? I make a bad name for my people.
Right.
And I think this will happen with a lot of the passport bro guys when they draw a lot of attention to themselves, because even now, you have foreign women fighting back against these guys because you can't show any development of what you're doing. You're not really bringing a lot of money.
But do you have to though? Can't you just come here to experience Uganda and not have any plans on?
You can if you're not with the hashtag passport bros, because now you've made so much noise for yourself. You brought attention, so you got to do something.
Right.
So now that a lot of these guys they're not really so successful as a group. It's different if you're passport bros and you guys all bring like $3 million into a country and you start a company or something like that. Then you can shut your haters up.
But just by the name passport bros, it doesn't sound stable to me. Like a passport, when you use your passport, you're going somewhere.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're fly by night, and that hashtag will be redundant in a few months.
Yeah, and so it's like people, when you compare yourself to, you're an American, and when you say you're an American, then what are the white Americans that are in Uganda? What do? They have NGOs.
Yeah.
They have
but that's a farce.
Yeah,
that's like a lot. Some of these NGOs are doing great work.
Yeah, well, let me kind of rephrase it. It could be fast, but they have some kind of infrastructure, and the black guys don't have anything. That's the point. They don't have anything. So when people look at you from the communities are talking about you, and then you start getting like, you know, let's say you're sleeping with girls, and the word gets around. If you're that kind of person that does that, people gonna talk about you, and the word gonna spread that, you know, these guys are just here. They don't spend money. They don't do anything. So then you start to make the whole thing look bad because you don't bring anything to the table. And then a lot of these guys, sometimes what they do is they go around, they show the girls that they're dealing with, and then like, you know, and then
set the trap.
So then people are not gonna, even if the women are okay with being shown like that, but because you did it as a man, they're gonna look at you in an explicit way because now you're a foreigner exploiting the women there. And you're inviting guys to come there because it's like, oh, these girls have a nicer, you know, behinds or whatever, and all of that. I mean, so
I get it.
Yeah.
Speaking of bringing something to the table, I think if you're a passport bro and you like go to a third world country, the least maybe you can do is visit an orphanage, give them some food or something. Like I know you're global, you know, doing your thing, exposing your. Anyway, you're doing something, but you can at least do something on the side. Maybe visit an orphanage or. Give something to someone. Do not just go there and people remember as, oh, that's the guy who just came and.
But that's not. We can't expect that from people like
it's
that.
not that responsibility. I do.
Okay, I wanted to let them get all that nonsense out. Okay, I wanted to let Oshay and his two friends. I wanted to let them get that out. Now, first of all, of course, the men are gonna show the women that they're dealing with because that's why they're going there. For the women, right? That's number one. Number two, you say, oh, well, they coming over here. They're not bringing anything. They're not bringing any resources. So people are going to look at them as just, they look bad to their people, etc. Whatever. Now, let me ask y'all something. We get immigrants, visitors. We get people come to the U.S. all the time, right? All the time. Do we shame them? Do we talk shit about them? Do we do anything derogatory to those people if they come here with nothing? No. Especially if they come here the legal way, right? If people come here the legal way, they just want to contribute to society. We have a lot of respect for them, right? We don't sit here and tell these people that, and you know, tell these people, oh, well, if you're going to come over here, bring $1 million. That'll be great. You know, that'd be great. But on the other hand, it is not your responsibility to go to another country and build their economy up just because you have intentions on dating grown women who are consenting to dating you. You see what I'm saying? Not your responsibility. So, and also that's kind of hypocritical if you think about it, bruv. It's kind of hypocritical. You telling me, oh, as long as you bring money and resources, then, have as many women as you want. Do whatever you want to these women, just as long as you bring money, bring stuff with you. So it's okay for me to bring resources and money and all that stuff for you and your people, long as y'all benefit. But if I bring it for myself, but if I'm sitting here bringing resources for me and me only to be taken care of, to where I'm not breaking your laws, I'm not stealing, and hey, you know what? Here's a couple dollars. I could buy some things at the market to help these people with their businesses. That's not enough. But I gotta come over here and build buildings and I gotta build businesses and do all of this stuff. That's kind of hypocritical because now that's transactional. And y'all just said, hey, you know what? It's wrong. Sex tourism is wrong. What is sex tourism? Sex tourism is 100% transactional. The transaction they're asking for is different, but it's still transactional, meaning it's all hypocritical. That's what I'm saying. That's what I heard. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
They're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
they're literally coming here.
There's people here that don't do that, but
exactly.
Even that people don't do that. So y'all don't even do. Y'all not over here donating money to orphanages and all that, but y'all expect us to do it. Why? Talk to your government.
Want to be real?
No. You want to like at least leave a dime of something somewhere. Tip your cleaning lady something. Anyway, but yeah, my last message I think would be the passport bros should stop. I think they also put high expectations on African women, and I speak for all African.
All right, we done with this, y'all, man. I just wanted to get my little vernacular. Right? Ain't it? Vernacular. My opinion on this, man, and yeah, man, y'all like, share, subscribe, all that, and y'all catch me in the next one.
You did it to me once again, my friend. That's why you do it to me.